All right, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about what it really takes to make artificial intelligence work for your organization. And here's a spoiler, it's not about the code. It's all about the people.
You see numbers like this thrown around all the time, right? $13 trillion. I mean, that's just a mind-boggling, game-changing figure. But here's the kicker. Despite all that potential, most companies trying to grab a piece of that pie are, well, failing. There's this huge gap between the promise of AI and the messy reality of getting it to work. And that's what we're going to unpack.
So let's start with the good news. And trust me, the hype, it's real for a reason. When AI is done right, the results can be, well, they can be absolutely transformative. Take this for example, 70%. What if you could cut credit card fraud by 70%? Sounds incredible, right? Well, that's exactly what one bank did. They rolled out an AI that could spot weird patterns in customer behavior in real time, catching fraud that their old systems just couldn't see.
Or think about all that boring, tedious paperwork. An insurance company used AI to automate its claims process. And boom, they were processing claims in half the time. That's a 50% cut. That means customers get their money faster, and the staff, they get to focus on the stuff that actually requires a human brain.
And this one really brings it home for the customer. A financial company set up an AI service platform, with one of those super smart chatbots that can answer almost anything, anytime. The result? Customer satisfaction shot up by a massive 45%. People were just happier.
Okay, so with results like that, less fraud, faster service, happier customers, you'd think every single company on the planet would be all in on AI, right? No brainer. But this is where the story gets a little more complicated.
So what's going on? Why do so many of these projects crash and burn? The data is pretty sobering. It turns out that a whopping 70% of all big change projects, not just AI, we're talking any major transformation, they just don't hit their targets. And here's the fascinating part. When you look at why they fail, you might assume it's the tech, right? The software was buggy, the algorithm was wrong. Nope. A big survey found that the technology itself is only the main problem about 14% of the time. The real reasons for failure? Things like bad project management, terrible communication, unclear goals. You see the pattern? It's all people stuff.
And it gets worse. Beyond just the people challenges, leaders get absolutely ambushed by all the hidden costs. They think, okay, we'll buy the software license and we're good to go. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Underneath the surface, there's this massive hidden mountain of operational costs they never saw coming.
I mean, we're talking about needing massive server upgrades just to run the thing. Then there's what I call the data black hole. Your data scientists can spend, get this, up to 80% of their time just cleaning and preparing data so the AI can even understand it. And don't even get me started on trying to plug this futuristic tech into your 15-year-old systems, or the security risks, or the crazy expensive bidding war for anyone who actually knows how to do this stuff.
So here's the big takeaway from all this. Getting AI right isn't a tech problem you can just throw more engineers at. It is fundamentally a people problem. And solving it requires a very specific, very deliberate focus on the human side of change.
And that discipline has a name. It's called change management. It's really just a systematic way of thinking about how you guide people, not just the organization, but individual human beings, from the old way of doing things to the new way. It's all about calming fears, teaching new skills, and actually getting people to want to change.
One of the best tools for this is a framework called the ADKR model. It's a super simple but really powerful way to think about the 5 things every single person needs to successfully make a change. So you've got A for awareness. Why are we doing this? D for desire. Do I want to be a part of this? K is for knowledge. How do I do it? The second A is for ability. Can I actually do it well? And finally, R for reinforcement. What's going to keep me from going back to the old way?
Okay, so keeping that 8-car model in our back pocket, let's figure out where AI actually fits in. What is it great at, and where does it totally fall flat?
Well, the research shows this really clear split. AI is an amazing tool for the K in AIDCAR, the knowledge part. You want personalized training for 1,000 people? AI can do that. You need 24/7 learning support? No problem. But when you get to the D, desire, AI is useless. It can't build a real emotional connection with someone. It can't understand office politics, and it sure can't inspire someone to get on board. That part, that has to be human.
And why is that? It's pretty simple, really. AI has zero genuine emotional intelligence. It can't empathize. And this leads to a tricky situation. A paradox, really. Think about it. The better an AI gets at monitoring people to make sure they're doing the new thing, the more it feels like Big Brother is watching. And that just kills trust and makes people dig their heels in.
All right, so if you're a leader trying to make this happen, what's the takeaway? It's this: you have to shift your focus. Stop obsessing over the tech and start executing a playbook built around 5 core human practices.
Here's your playbook. First, build awareness. Be radically transparent about what's happening and why. Second, manage that sense of security. Bring your people into the planning process. Third, provide real, human, emotional support. Mentoring is huge here. Fourth, over-communicate. Make sure no one ever feels like they're in the dark. And fifth, invest in training like you mean it, so people feel confident and capable, not scared.
Because at the end of the day, it really all boils down to one simple question. AI can optimize a process, for sure, but can it inspire a person? An algorithm can automate a task, but it can't look someone in the eye and help them through a tough, scary change. That's not the work of an algorithm. That's the work of a leader. And your success with AI depends entirely on your answer to that question.